If you're a salesperson or a heating air conditioning technician in the world of heating and air, what does it take to be great at sales, and why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Silverbell, coming to you live from Sacramento, California, and a perfect day to talk about sales and business, and a fantastic day to talk about you. Today, right now, we're talking about HVAC sales training. And it doesn't matter where you're at in the country, it doesn't matter how you operate. There's a lot of truths to this, and then there's a lot of, I really don't want to put in the work, okay? So video number one is you have to have a process. Video number two is you have to role play. Video number three is you need to be consistent. And video number four is you have to be willing to have the tough conversations, right? You're a big boy, you're a big girl. You have to be willing to either make the statements or ask the questions that need to be asked. And here's what happens. Whatever you don't use in your sales process will be used against you at the end. Whatever you don't do and whatever effort you don't put in will cause you problems. So for me, there's questions that I ask when I do consulting, right? There's questions that I need to know. One of them is going to be budget. Sometimes people say, hey, I need coaching and I need training. And I go, hey, coaching and training is rather expensive. Do you have a budget set aside for this project? And sometimes they go, no. I'm like, well, we need to talk about money. We need to talk about the money because like if we're not going to have this conversation, I don't want to get all the way to the end and have you be out of budget and not be able to afford what needs to be done. When I work with business owners for coaching and training, I have to have the same conversation. And like salespeople really get to the end, they get super uncomfortable. And so they have a list of like 10 questions. They turn it to 30 questions. They beat around the bush and they're not comfortable with saying, do you have a budget set aside for this project that starts at least 10,000? Do you have a budget for this project that starts at least 15,000? Depending upon where you're at in the country, I'm giving you numbers. In California, like, do you have a budget set aside for this project that starts at 100 grand? I'm kidding. That's what it feels like, okay? You have to get really good. And like one of the videos we talked about, you got to role play. One of the most important things for you to role play are tough conversations and two, money, because in society, we're taught, like, don't talk about the money. Like, oh, okay. You know what that leads to you? And an objection at the very end that you weren't ready, prepared to be dealt with. It's just the way that it works. You have to be willing at some point to have the conversation. Be like, hey, Scott, I rode with a closer and they didn't do it that way. Okay, cool. You are comparing yourself against decades of time, years of time, or more repetitions than you. Like this is a huge mistake. You're brand new at sales. You're looking at this dude over here or this chick over here, and they don't do it the way that it's taught in the training. And you're like, hey, they don't ask it that way. They don't say it that way. If they're closing deals, don't worry about them. Don't model yourself after them because you're not ready to do the work that way. You got to get the basics in. You got to learn how to have those conversations. Now, here's the thing. If you want to be better at sales, you want to be good at what you do, you should absolutely join my email publication, hvactechsecrets.com. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel, which means private coaching, private training, discounted coaching, discounted training. It's an email publication. You get emails from moi. And occasionally I try to sell you something so I could buy Aloha shirts, go on trips to Hawaii, and have medium rare ribeye steaks or al pastor tacos. Never know. Okay, so tough questions. I'm going to go back to say you want to ask tough questions probably 100 to 200 times over and over and over again. How do you do that? You role play with somebody in lieu of not having somebody to role play with. You go get a gaming headset and they're all of like $30. This one I think was 100. It's a Logitech Pro. It's a good one. It's cool. It's not my favorite, but it works. And you drive down the road with your headset on, right? With your headset on, and you learn how to say the question over and over and over again. And so this is the way that I do it. I ask a question. I'll repeat it over and over and over again. And when I feel like, okay, I've got it down, now I start playing with the vocal pitch and tone. Now I start playing with how is this supposed to sound? Like, okay, cool. I love that you have this conversation with me, but I have to make sure at this point that we have budget set aside for this project, right? Do you have at least $35,000 set aside to do this project? Do you have at least the money set aside that needs to be done? You will find out this, that when you are in sales, you absolutely positively have to ask the tough questions. If you're not willing to do it, you, my friend, are going to leave money on the table and have all sorts of problems and issues that it's going to cost you, and it's going to be es no bueno for you, as they say down south, okay? For everything that you do, get good at asking the tough questions. It'll alleviate a lot of your problems. Almost every time that I look at somebody who's in a sales slump, I'm like, What's the toughest question? What's the toughest question? And the bell rings. What's the toughest question you got to ask? I'm like, role play it for me, and they can't do it. Well, it tells me a lot. You got one of three things to do from here, just one of three. Find the subscribe button, click on it, and every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.